Frittata!
You guys are insane, okay? All I asked for you was to get me to 104k subs, and instead you guys showered me with over 1,000 subs. I mean, I guess you really want to see me play Despacito on camera, don't you? No, sorry, no. Not just play Despacito on camera. Play Despacito on camera with a bottle of Tapatio and a sombrero.
Do you think that's funny, butthead?
I know how bad you guys want to laugh at me and my lack of skills or talents or looks. So smash that subscribe button and let's get into today's news. You know what's the worst thing about Nintendo and their little technological gimmicks that they try to incorporate in their consoles? Is how they always have to force themselves to try and build a game around it, and they always suck ass. Well, I take that back. Not always. Wii Sports was the shit. Not even me, with all my hatefulness, can deny how great that was. But that's an exception. About 9 out of 10 times, you're gonna get slop. Or worst off, maybe Nintendo will decide to try and incorporate them in one of their main IPs, like Zelda Skyward Sword, and completely ruin the experience for you. The problem Nintendo has is trying to turn a novelty into a full-fledged game. Nobody buys Nintendo devices for the little novelty gimmicks that come with them. With the Switch 1, they released ARMS, and the only notable thing about that game is that they implemented the character in Smash Bros. Well, now Nintendo is letting you use your Joy-Cons as fake mice, which honestly, for a first-person shooter, doesn't seem like a bad idea. And then Nintendo took a bunch of Adderall, Xanax, and thought to themselves, let's emulate what it's like to be crippled.
I can't walk. Why the hell can't I walk? This isn't part of the act anymore.
Never mind fishing, first-person shooters, boxing. No, people want to know what it's like to live in a wheelchair. I'm guessing they watched Richie Aprile back his car off of Beansy and then put it into drive and turn him into a handicapped guy and thought to themselves, you know what? I can empathize with that. Let's make some slop out of this. And thus, we've got, what's it called? Drag X Drive. There we go. Yeah, that game. Initially, when I looked at it, I'll be honest, I thought, nah, I'm kidding. I thought it looked like shit from the beginning. The whole concept is that you literally drag the Joy-Cons across your legs like a retard and emulate something that you'll never fully understand. I mean, you gotta admit, for people who live in a wheelchair, they probably look at that and think, wow, those guys look like assholes.
Simultaneously in order to move your character. And it doesn't work that great. I found better success doing it on my lap, and if I was doing it in a video or on a live stream like I was on the Spawncast, it definitely looks like I'm doing something else.
Oh, the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh?
Because you do. I mean, if you're playing this and you're doing that to your legs, trying to make it look like you're somebody in a wheelchair, you're gonna look like an asshole. Kind of like me playing La Bamba. What's more is the whole goal of the game is to play basketball in wheelchairs, so Nintendo very obviously wanted their own Rocket League, handicapped edition. But instead of saying Kobe, every time you swish, you shout out, Hawking!
Wow, that's messed up.
I mean, on paper, it doesn't seem like a bad idea until you realize you gotta use the motion controls and then you end up getting them all fucked up like this guy did. This Nintendo Switch 2 user played Drag X Drive during the weekend and used the Joy-Con controllers on his jeans. This is the result. The guy is clearly a moron. You're supposed to use him on a flat surface. But it's not as immersive when you do it that way now, is it? But considering the Joy-Cons are $100, I'm not exactly sure what Nintendo was thinking. They should fully understand how stupid their fan base is at this point, after all. These guys were trying to lick Switch 1 cartridges initially. But then again, maybe that's how they keep the whole money machine rolling, realizing how stupid their audience is and how susceptible they are to breaking their own devices. So if you know a bunch of idiots are gonna be breaking their Joy-Cons, charge them $100. You'll be swimming in money. And I personally couldn't blame Nintendo on that one. Honestly, the only positive thing one can say about this game is that it gave RGT85 the best workout he's had in years, as his own comment section said. And believe it or not, there were so many Nintendo fanboys who were capping for this game, claiming in the early previews, oh, it's actually really fun. Nintendo nailed it. This gimmick is incorporated very well into this game. If this was a PlayStation Move title, none of these Nintendo guys would have bought it and they would have all been roasting it. I honestly have no clue what Nintendo was thinking with this one. Clearly, they didn't care about it as much as other titles because it's got no local co-op. I don't even know how you could do local co-op with a title like this. Last thing you want is your friends coming over and fucking up the $100 Joy-Cons you just bought. The way Nintendo fans were really defensive for this one too in RGT's video is hilarious. Claiming, no, he just sucked, which in all fairness, RGT85 does suck at games, but the most important thing here is he wasn't having fun with it. And they were telling him, no, it's only 20 bucks, and it's actually kind of fun. Which kind of lets you know how piss poor the Switch 2 library is at the moment. The fact these guys are so thirsty for content that they're willing to call this fun is a testament to how dry that library is at the moment. Well, the reviews are in, and it is the most disappointing Switch 2 exclusive of the year so far. And this comes to us from Kotaku and IGN. You have to remember, these guys practically worship Nintendo. By default, Nintendo products get like a 20% boost in reviews in comparison to other titles by brand name alone. So if this was not a Nintendo title, the score would be even lower. Two of the worst reviewed games on Switch 2 come from Nintendo. Oh no!
The Nintendo quality seal. The seal assures you the best games.
Reviews for Drag X Drive, Nintendo's newest first-party Switch 2 game, went live across the web earlier today. And the overall consensus seems to be meh. By itself, that wouldn't be much of a story, but Drag X Drive's low review scores mean that 2 out of the 5 lowest rated Switch 2 games on Metacritic were published by Nintendo. Indeed, that is quite concerning. Personally, I wouldn't consider the Welcome Tour a game, but since Nintendo wants to charge for it, then it should be treated as a product. And if that's the case, then indeed Nintendo has not exactly nailed it out of the park. As it stands, Donkey Kong Bonanza is what some would consider the highest quality title they have, because Mario Kart World is mid. On August 13th, the embargo dropped for Drag X Drive reviews, and numerous outlets began posting their critical appraisals of the arcadey wheelchair basketball game Drag X Drive, which launches on Thursday. Isn't a big hit with critics. Many found it too complicated for casual players, but not deep enough to keep experienced players hooked. Others complained that the controls, which rely heavily on the new Joy-Con's mouse functionality, are tedious and a pain to use, and even once you've mastered them, the 3v3 sports game is just not very exciting to play or look at. So it's not a surprise that as of 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Drag X Drive has a lukewarm 62 out of 100 rating on Metacritic and places it in close proximity to another Nintendo published Switch 2 game. Just why, Nintendo? Why? What were you thinking? If you were gonna do a 3v3 basketball game, you should have just revived Mario Hoops 3-on-3. Remember that game for the DS? I mean, yeah, some don't consider it the best, but it would have actually been successful. And you could have thrown in some guest characters like you did for the first one, entice people, because who in the hell wants to play this? I swear to God, Nintendo only makes games like this so that they can pad their next Smash Bros. Roster to include them. Just wonderful. I can't wait to play the handicapped character in the wheelchair in the next Smash Bros. Game. Woohoo! The very fact that Nintendo still hasn't learned their lesson about gimmicky novelty games like this is astounding. It's pure stubbornness on their part. They still regret to this day not selling you Wii Sports separately from the Wii, because that was their most successful gimmicky thing ever, and they're still trying to capture that magic in a bottle. I mean, when even Polygon themselves are hating on it, that's a feat. Drag X Drive pushes the Switch 2's gimmicks to a breaking point. The specter of red steel comes for Nintendo Switch 2. Jeez, it takes a lot for Polygon to hate a Nintendo product. It really says something, doesn't it, when on Metacritic, the highest review for this game comes from, you guessed it, a Nintendo website.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
Not even IGN, not even fucking IGN could be kind to this game, giving it a 6. You know, as a company, you've fallen off when IGN can't artificially inflate their review score for you, which they kindly do for a lot of Nintendo products. As we speak, the score is still dropping, and I doubt it's gonna go up, but I guess this is that mythical innovation that Nintendo guys constantly praise Nintendo for. Always saying they try new things, they innovate. Yet I feel this type of gameplay brings us back to the Stone Ages, where we look like we're actually playing with sticks and stones. My God, if this is what they chose to release in August, we are cooked, and not from the heat waves. It really does feel like this game and the Welcome Tour should have all come bundled with the Switch 2. Yeah, people may not have liked them, but trying to sell these? What the hell is Nintendo thinking? How this passes their quality control is beyond me. It really makes you realize Nintendo is not as clever or innovative or creative as people would like you to believe. The fact that if you're trying to play this on a stream and your camera ain't, pointing down below, you're gonna look like the next DSP Gaming, if you know the reference I'm talking about. If I owned a Switch 2 right now, I don't think I'd be touching it for the rest of the month. What in the hell was Nintendo popping? Then again, these guys tried selling you cardboard, literal cardboard, so I'm assuming what they think is that you are stupid, in which case you are if you purchase this. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you so choose to. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video.
Fritango sucks ass.